Super Dragon Ball Heroes feels like it's been absent for quite a while with all of the craziness happening, not only in the Dragon Ball Super Sadala fan creation we've been covering, but also in the canon Dragon Ball Super manga as well. The enemies the Time Patrollers face are just as sinister and cunning, however, as the last episode of Heroes showed us that even the combined powers of Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan 4 may not be enough in a battle of this caliber. Few in this new form has been single-handedly battling both Xeno and main timeline Goku with support from the Supreme Kai of Time as well. As the battle goes on, however, it's shown that Few hasn't even released his full power, with a single wing sprouting from his back going toe-to-toe with two gods. When his next wing appears, however, it would seem that the power spike accompanied with it would change the tide of the battle for the time being, as Few glares at the two Saiyans. As they brace themselves for Few's next attack, the Supreme Kai of Time appears, shooting the two of them as she arrives with a plan that may be just crazy enough to work. She places a hand on either of their backs as the two Gokus prepare for who knows what, but the power-up they obtain may be just enough to overcome this enemy, as both Gokus seem to soar into a blaze of sudden power. As we hop right into the newest episode, Goku and Xeno Goku are getting ready for one final attack as Few hovers over them. With their combined powers, the two Gokus begin preparing Kamehamehas. Few just smirks as he recognizes what they're doing now, but doesn't appear to be too worried as he drifts backwards into the air and puts his hands out, preparing to block their attack. As the two Gokus fire their combined Limit Breaker Kamehamehas, Few begins creating multiple light screens in front of him and around his hands to strengthen his defenses. The Kamehameha rips through the skies as it homes in on Few, but surprisingly to Few, it begins easily shattering all of his defenses one by one. The combined attack of the two Gokus was so powerful that Few was left only able to attempt to block it himself, taking the attack head on and any damage associated with it. Exhausted now, the two Gokus power down their oars and await the result of their attack on Few, knowing that he couldn't have been defeated by that single beam, but he had to have felt that one at least. As the smoke clears, Few chuckles, putting his guard down, telling the Saiyans that that was a pretty amazing attack. Xeno Goku is shocked that even after an attack like that, it seems like they're outclassed here. Just how much power and dark energy does he have, the Supreme Kai of Time says to herself, as even her assistants seem to mean nothing in the face of this reborn Few. My power is of no importance, Few tells them as he flies over to the Universal Tree. I simply want to know how and why this world was created. Doesn't that fascinate you? I want to recreate the universe and determine and see how a universe under my rule will grow. Aren't you excited? Few asks as the newest episode of Super Dragon Ball Heroes begins, with our heroes exhausted and overpowered. If you guys want to check out this episode or any other episode of Super Dragon Ball Heroes for yourselves, they can be found all over YouTube in both subbed and raw versions, but as always I'll link the one that I personally watched down below. Before we do go on any further, I want to remind everyone that Super Dragon Ball Heroes is a promotional anime for the arcade game and is no way canon to Dragon Ball Super or the main timeline, so be sure to keep that in mind, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you have those notifications turned on to never miss an upload as soon as they go live. And if you haven't, consider leaving a like on this video as well, it really helps out a ton. Be sure to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all Dragon Ball and related content, guys. Hope you all have a happy holidays, and without further ado, this is no reason to destroy an entire universe, Few, Goku roars, as Few relishes in the schemes coming to light before their very eyes. I have no choice in the matter, Few tells him. I will destroy anyone who gets in my way. Universe, give me your power, Few commands, as he raises his arms into the air, harnessing even more dark energy from around him. The two Gokus prepare themselves for the next attack. All around the Universal Tree, dark energy begins manifesting and making its way towards Few as it swirls and hovers above the canopy. When the Dark Ki begins assimilating with Few, the Supreme Kai tells Goku that he's absorbing the power of the entire universe around them. Fu's power explodes as a vibrant aura appears around his entire body. He lifts one wing, and with a single powerful swipe, he goes for the Supreme Kai of Time, but Goku is able to block his aura in time, only taking a cut to the face, protecting the Supreme Kai. Fu laughs as he promises he won't miss his target next time, attempting to swing this Ki Whip again, but something stops him. Behind him, Blue Goku is holding Fu by the whip as he uses the majority of his power to sever his aura from the wing. All of a sudden, much like what happened to Vegeta in the previous episodes, Goku is overcome by the dark power and begins to go berserk. "You may have landed a sneak attack," Fu says to Goku, "but it seems like you didn't think about it beforehand. Your body can't resist my power," he tells him. Goku uses everything within his power to try to ward off the dark energy from his body, and eventually, he's able to raise his hands above his head. "I can do it as well," Goku tells Fu, as shockingly, Goku himself begins absorbing the power of the universe through the Universal Tree as well. And this ascends him into something we've never seen from him before. In a ferocious blast of power, Goku takes a page out of the book from Vegeta, and thanks to Fu's own resource, Goku has ascended to a sort of Super Saiyan Blue Berserk evolution form of his own. Angered, Fu charges at Goku, who easily blocks his attack now that the playing field seems to be a bit more level. Goku pushes him off and then powers up once again, with Fu only able to put his guard up before Goku charges him next in a storm of attacks, kicking and punching him throughout the sky. In one final overhead attack, Blue Evolution Goku sends Fu crashing into the top of the Universal Tree, telling Fu that they won't allow him to just do whatever he wants with the universe. Frantic now, Fu flies out of the tree, warning Goku to stop getting in his way, but the fear is apparent now after Goku's last display of power. The final victor will be decided in a clash of some of these two's strongest attacks, as we see Goku preparing a final Limit Breaker Kamehameha, boosted with this power of his new Blue Evolution form. Fu creates a giant death ball overhead that grows absolutely massive, but Goku has been here numerous times and has never backed down once. As he fires the Kamehameha, Fu releases his attack as well as the power struggle begins. In a show of pure force, concentration, experience, and with help from the universe itself, Blue Evolution Berserk Goku is able to overpower Fu's attack, shattering straight through the death ball. "It can't be," Fu comments. "How can this universe be home to this much power?" Fu is consumed by the Kamehameha, and the blast that ensues as a bright light illuminates the entire sky disappears just as quickly. Goku, exhausted beyond belief, has fallen back to his base form, and Xeno Goku approaches him, telling him that it's over now. Like clockwork, the two Vegetas and Toki Toki appear out of a rip in the timeline, returning back to the team as Heart shows up as well. "You guys defeated Fu?" Heart's asks, as Goku replies, "Yeah, it's over now. But what about you?" he continues. "You beat Broly all by yourself?" "Oh, he disappeared as well," Heart says, along with those other Saiyans too. "It looks like the Universal Tree has used up its full power. Come on, Toki Toki, let's restore the universe," the Supreme Kai of Time says, as she and Toki Toki begin fixing all of the devastation caused by this war, bringing an end finally to the terror known as Fu. However, in another realm, the Hooded Man is meeting with another mysterious being, reporting the results of the battle. "The fake universe has been destroyed," he tells her. "Good," she says. "And were you able to save my son?" The Hooded Man chuckles as she replies, "Then that settles it. Seems like my time has come," as more hooded individuals reveal themselves with her as well, as Super Dragon Ball Heroes Episode 40 comes to a close.